Hey everybody, clearing. Okay, let's get into what are the hidden emotions, feelings for the masculines at this time. What are they experiencing on a more emotional level? So we're going to look at what is hidden. It can be from the feminine, but also from themselves in some regard, or it would look that way from the feminine perspective because the masculines navigate their emotions in a different way. But let's see, what are the hidden gems, the hidden awarenesses that are being experienced on the masculine side? What are the masculine's conscious thoughts about those things? And then we're going to look at the emotion that the feminines can connect to regarding what we're going to see here. So thank you, Divine Creator, for using me as a channel of only the highest, most beneficial information coming through. What can we see for the hidden realms of emotions on the masculine side at this time? How are the masculines experiencing those deeper things on a more conscious level? I'm being told to shuffle these differently. What's coming up for the masculines on a conscious level regarding the deeper things they are experiencing, and what can we see for the feminines in an emotional context so that they can more clearly relate to what the masculines are going through at this time? All right, here we are. So, conscious mind about the connections. Three of Cups in the inverse. So in the upright, this is a card of flowing emotions, being unguarded, being, one with, going with the flow of the emotions. In the inverse, there's a lot going on under the surface. It's like a stirring. I'm even doing this with my hands. A stirring of emotions. The Three of Cups can sometimes talk about the contrasts of different energies, third parties, or options, a cross section of the playing field, or what would be available if one was, I want to say, still in play or energy. And what are they thinking? Okay, the end of anxiety. So there is a recognition here from these masculines that they have been choosing things that have kept them in guilt, shame, and temporary surface level connections. Here for a good time, not a long time kind of energy. And with you, feminines, you've stood the test of time, and they're seeing that their anxiety is calmed with a slower, deeper connection. They used to resist going deep because they thought it would be more drama than the surface level things. They thought, if this surface level stuff is this full of drama, God only knows what would happen if I went deeper. That is being shown to them as a paradox. The deeper they go, the calmer the water. Isn't that the old adage, calm water runs deep? And the emotion, perseverance. I know that I can do whatever I set my mind to. So feminines, these masculines are realizing they do have what it takes to go deeper. They don't have what it takes to stay shallow. Riptide, I just heard. Got to get out past the riptide. Wow. What can we see on the conscious or on the deeper level for you specifically, feminines? The Six of Cups. So this pull to connect in the physical, I just heard. Again, more deeply. Take it how it resonates. They're feeling this undeniable pull to you and only you. What is this in a conscious way? Yeah, it's sinking in. There's another nod to third party. And I think we've been seeing this Four of Swords in the last few readings, but in the inverse, a need to meditate, a need to see this deeper stuff. And now we have this bing, bing, bing. Masculines are seeing this contrast of surface level connections, player energy, keeping things physical, as not being a source of peace for them. This is making sense. So specifically with you, they're seeing something illuminated about their anxiety being calmed. When they surrender to this connection, they feel peace. When they resist it and continue trying to find solace in surface level things, it just continues to be gnarly. Nar. What can we see for the emotions? Courage, I find the inner strength to face fear with confidence. So they are connecting. Feminines, these masculines are connecting their fear of success in relationships with having held you back. And when we keep going for that repeat pattern of surface level stuff, we know the drill and it's predictable. And, it's that unattainable energy that the masculines are so used to being pursued and having that rejection and cutting it off. That's a cycle, and they're getting exhausted by that. So it takes courage to actually go into uncharted territory and begin to unpack a connection organically with someone who's on the same page, but it's them that is finding they're on the same page or wanting to be with you, feminines. And this takes courage because they know the shtick of being pursued and then rejecting someone. It's not, I heard it's not legitimate in this case to do that. It's not warranted to do that. And they know it. They're experiencing this courageous energy that says, not this time, not with this person. What can we see on the deeper levels on the heart space? Ace of Cups, yes. You are modeling unconditional love to your masculine because you're not fickle when they pull back, because you are good in your energy, because you're not making it about them. You're not calling them names. You're not karmic. They're realizing that it is safe to go deeper with the right one. Oh, wow. So this is like passion igniting on a soul level. This really is the rewiring of their sexual impulse towards the hit and run or away from the hit and run. I'm hearing Paula Abdul or J. Cole. So they're really seeing how in you they could allow themselves to go deeper. They're feeling it's safe, that they won't lose themselves. You've shown them you won't consume them. I'm hearing man-eater now. Imagination. I embrace and nourish the creative aspect of my mind. So they're seeing possibilities, feminines, that they haven't seen with other counterparts or potential counterparts. We've got all this crown chakra purple and intuition. So they're really up in the higher chakras right now, processing the difference with this connection, how aligned it is. And it does take righteousness and alignment in order for the masculines to identify a feminine this way. What can we see on the deeper levels in the heart space for their feminine? King of Cups. Whoa. So all of these cards for the subconscious, these are truly in the inverted, deep layers. So this is the core emotional connection that has been reserved for only the real thing, the right one. You are passing this greatest test, getting past the armor of their heart, because you are not ambushing them. You're not condemning them. They are uncurling like a flower. in there and seeing emotional responses they have not had. I'm seeing a dark cavern with a beam of light and a flower that blooms only, once in an eon in the masculine's heart, and it's starting to bloom. And if the conditions aren't just right, it will close up again and miss its chance in 1,000 years. Wow, sacred flower. So these masculines' hearts are encoded with destiny and eternity, I just heard, and they don't open for just anyone. And on the deepest levels, their hearts are opening here. What are they conscious of? Wow, I was going to say it was a moonflower, and here we have the moon. So the feminine, the divine feminine, is the archetypal moon. And so this flower only blooms for the feminine. Wow, what a message. Elixir, alchemical elixir of life, spirit in human form. Emotion connected with this. What are we going to get? Discipline. I can accomplish what I set my mind to. So feminines, this is bringing out your masculine, your healthy, healed, integrated masculine. Stick to it. This is your discipline. That is your inner structure, stability, logic, reason being harnessed by love, by your connection to source, that is keeping you on the straight and narrow with these connections long enough for this moonflower to bloom in your masculine soul. Wow. It's like I can smell, I heard ambrosia, but also aphrodisiac. Wow, it's, this flower that's blooming is an aphrodisiac. What can we see for the the manifestation, for the metaphors the masculines will come up with next? On the deepest level, temperance, this is the healing. No kidding. We've got the reunion, the the blossoming of true unconditional love. Okay, so y'all, we got everything is cups. We've got the 3 of Cups, which is reducing to the 2, just the 2 of you. Then we've got the 6 of Cups, which is reunion. Then Ace of Cups, which is the unconditional love blossoming. And the King of Cups, which is the masculine becoming aware of this and this deepest level of healing. I just heard sexual healing, but it's so much more beyond just that. It is the integration of the spiritual with the sexual. So this is the alchemical process that's running under the surface in the depths of these masculines, earthquaking love. What can we see with what they're conscious of? Yeah, that none compare, that in all these other options, there's just this one in the middle. It is turned upside down, and this is the unconditional love here. The King of Cups has that 1 cup. The Ace of Cups has that 1 cup. And again, it's pointed inward. And it's this outpouring, this blossoming in the masculine soul. I just heard this is love. I was driving my daughter to school today, and I said, I wish for you to have a love that comes into your life one day and you say, this is what it's supposed to be like. And I said, I'm looking forward to being in that love that I know every day that this is what it's supposed to be like. And masculines are feeling that as well. This is what it's supposed to be like. Emotions for the feminines. Health. Yes, exactly. It's so healthy. It's so healthy. I will honor the physical vessel that enshrines my soul. So right now, feminines, the physical embodiment of health, work on anything that's stressing you out and producing too many stress hormones. Work on your physical temple. Bring ease. Create healing. Nourish yourself. Sleep, hygiene, everything. Take care of yourself beautifully right now, but especially the emotional layers, and especially how you talk to yourself about your connection and about your balance within your sacred connection. All connections are sacred. So every interaction, every perspective that you hold regarding interpersonal dynamics and connections, continue finding that peace and equilibrium within your own perspectives. This is a heart chakra green flowering here, and so that is also the blossoming of your heart. No agenda, no expectation, no assumptions, just love in the moment. That doesn't mean it doesn't lend itself to long-term success, but your right attitude is the thing that you can harbor in your soul that will weather any storm. What can we see for the actions these masculines are being guided? Wow, the Chariot. So all of these deep catalytic energies going on under the masculine's surface, this is the fuel that moves this forward, feminines. And consciously on to the Queen of Wands, Divine Feminine. This is the temple embodiment that we just saw, the feminines being guided to just embrace this physical embodiment of health on every level. Know your worth, know your healthy standards, be in that alignment, feminines. And what is the emotion? Trust. Yes, I accept that my inner voice will always guide me correctly. Be fully you in your entirety, in your wholeness, in your health, feminines, because these masculines are coming towards you. The Chariot is momentum. It is movement towards divine feminine. This blossoming in the soul. Flowers need to be cross-pollinated. What can we see as the biggest challenge? The depths, the Hanged Man, this, I wanted to say, stagnancy that has appeared to be in the material realm with these connections, these periods of spaciousness, the grace, the unfolding. This is the challenge, that it's moving. The Hanged One in the inverse like this talks about coming out of that holding pattern. So the challenge for the masculines is how to come out of it, that they feel themselves coming out of it with this blossoming of the flower. What are they aware of? Oh my goodness. So they are completely aware that things are shifting, because we got the Hanged One in the same position again. Okay, so this one is in the upright, and there is an epiphany being had. When they look at it from this inverted perspective, they see how it's all perfectly aligned. They see the inner workings of divine timing. I'm distinctly getting that they see the light at the end of the tunnel for what's been going on your side, feminines. So something that they're witnessing in you is this readiness. It's not just been about them not being ready or withholding. They've also been watching you and your development. They know the things that they believe would need to balance out in your life. Particularly for the feminine, the masculines are aware of the physical realm circumstances that need to balance out. Yes, the emotions as well, but for life circumstances. And for the feminines, we see the things that the masculines would need to be accountable for emotionally and those sorts of things. So it feels like the masculines are seeing both sides of readiness here. But this is the challenge. It is the yin yang. It's both. It's not just one. It's wiggling up that ladder together. It can't be forced. It can't be pushed. It can't be done for the other one. That's the challenge. And death, yes, I'm learning that endings are merely beginnings. So this in the inverse speaks of the transition that cannot be forced. It cannot be faked. It cannot be rushed. And this is the challenge. What is the solution that these masculines feel stirring in their souls? Oh, the Queen of Wands. So in the inverse like this, they are waiting for cues of readiness from you, feminines. It's so interesting that in karmic situations, one of the cues of readiness is moving on to others. When the feminine lets go and starts, opening up to other options, we hear so many times in a karmic soulscape that they come back right when you move on. That's not what happens in these, though. We don't move on like that, and there are no games with the right one, with the divine one. But there is a readiness for more that's not moving on. Sit on that, chew on that for a little bit. What would that edge look like for you, feminines, where you're not filling the space with another masculine stand-in, but you are truly at that level of readiness, that you are fully in your energy and not waiting for your masculine for any quality of life or balance point, instead fully trusting the divine to guide you regardless of outcome, regardless of expectation, regardless of attachment. I had a swell up of intensity craving my masculine today intimately, like just, oh, I almost messaged how badly I wanted to be close. And you know, I gave it to God and said, move in whatever way is needed here. I trust. And you know, that's these waves of energy. So feminines, continue harnessing the intensity that you're being shown about your connection. Keep letting go and giving it to the divine so that we can expand our consciousness, our capacity, our responsibility, our accountability to hold more love, an eternal love, a true love, a non-fickle love, real love. Love through all of it, feminines. What are these masculines conscious of? Yeah, the Hermit. So they're doing a whole lot of thinking of you all the time right now and how the future can look. What will happen once you're able to come together in more of a material way here? What do the feminines need to know? Abundance. I'm a limitless being and I can manifest whatever I desire in this physical reality. This is in the inverse. So right now, leave it up to your masculine to pray and meditate on these instructions. Yesterday's 2 readings, if you haven't seen those, go watch those readings. The divine masculines are getting instruction because they are now praying to be shown specifically how to bring these connections into union through a divine guidance. And feminines, our life purpose is about to open in a new way for abundance in our own right, to fully come into physical mastery regarding finances and health, all of it. And so continue to focus on how to lead yourself out of hardship or imbalances regarding your material realm, your financial picture, all of the things, your living situation, any root chakra things. Seek to balance yourself. Continue to seek divine instruction on how to embody peace regarding those things in your life and to bring healing to your material circumstances in your own right. I'm remembering a meme I read yesterday. It said, find a feminine who can take care of themselves and then take care of them. That was such a beautiful thing to see. Advice for the masculine. What can we see in the near future? 3 of Pentacles. This is the material realm. So things coming into the physical here. The masculines, the feminines, there is crossover in the physical. Things are becoming more realistic here than ever before in the physical. So it feels like the stage is being set, that chariot moving the energies behind the scenes, and now it can't help but come into the physical. Yeah, the physical beginning, the Ace of Pentacles. So the masculines are aware that this connection is sealed, that it is coming into the physical. It's only a matter of time before they will know what to offer and when, how to offer it, and what they're being shown the value of alignment alliance with the feminine is. And it is the peace it brings, by contrast to the other sorts of connections that people can have that are more karmic or dramatic. What can we see as the energy? Wow, grief. I understand that losing something is an opportunity to appreciate it. Oh, yeah. So feminines, we're reclaiming the pieces of ourselves that we lose, that we give away too much into relationships, thinking we'll get something in return because we don't know our worth, and so we overgive. This is a period of reclaiming those soul fragments back to yourself, feminines. Another thing that I've seen recently is the guilt you feel when setting healthy boundaries is directly proportionate to the amount that you abandoned yourself. You were conditioned to abandon yourself. And so this is a period of grieving that old way of spreading ourselves too thin, and, you know, our masculines being insolvent to our approaches in many ways shows us where it's warranted to contain our energy more in a sacred way. The masculine doesn't reject us. They're just saying, calm down. It is a containment of that spreading too thin. I saw an oil slick on water and then corralling that so it doesn't spread. The masculine corralling that oil slick disaster of the feminine. So yes, your masculine hasn't been rejecting you. They've been telling you where you can calm down. Beautiful. Okay, do we want any more? Okay, one more message here. What can we see? Oh, I'm so excited. Today I'm going to start designing the membership perks, really getting a weekly structure in for those. Ooh, grounding. Yes, and I'm grounding the membership area. And there's going to be more grounding in these connections. How magical. Okay. Grounding. Oh, there's an anchor here. So the anchor in this card represents grounding and stability. A long-awaited relationship, position, or financial composition or compensation will become permanent. Just like these messages are saying, feminines, capturing your financial mastery, your material realm, and it all comes in at once, this relationship as well. You can now ease your mind and focus on the desired security. This card can mean finally seeing the light after a challenging period. The stormy weather is over, and you can now adjust to the new steady pace in life. Don't be afraid to take a chance, but choose the option with long-term beneficial results if the opportunity arises. Okay, these connections are grounding into long-term beneficial results. All right, many blessings. Bye for now.